Just sitting at home, oh God, please give me that BMW. So what if my credit's bad? So what if I mismanage money? So what if I only make $6.85 an hour? I know you, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, is going to give me that 7 Series, the 2011. Amen.
The hustler's mindset, the haves and the have-nots. Make the change today because you can. It's all mental.
Hey, this is Glendon. And the title of this segment, The Hustler's Mindset, the haves and the have-nots. Everyone's talking about the economy and the coming separation of the have and the have-nots. And I really want you to think about something. That shit already happened. We have two very distinct classes of people in the United States of America. Let's examine a few things. Number one, poverty is at an all-time high. The highest level since 1971. Put that in the proper context. First of all, there are significantly way more people in the United States of America now than there were in 1971. And the level is higher, which means more poor people, more poor people, more poor people. Let's look at something else. Corporate profits are also at an all-time high. Now let's not get this twisted. Is that every company and every corporation? No, because some of them are sucking the big, wet, shallow, empty titty because and there's no milk coming out because they're about to be expired. So this is the thing. This has already happened. We talk about the words recession, depression. We have been in a depression. We've used the R word because we're very scared of the D word. And just look at it. How many people do you personally know whose home values are in the toilet? How many people do you personally know have been unemployed for an extended period of time, or if they're working at hookah, half of what they used to make? Think about that. You know people like this. I do. Also, things that are important are going up. As someone here on YouTube says, the trickeration. There's a lot of manipulation going on with commodities, gas prices, because gas has been going down, which is really, really interesting. However, I know with the emerging markets of India and China, mainly China, that's only a temporary relief because sooner or later you got to pay the piper. So you have all this stuff. There are certain people who have more money than they ever had before, and there's a whole bunch of people holding a bag with the bottom ripped out the bottom of it. We're there. Either you have or you don't have. There is, this thing is like, there's this mental manipulation in the press about taxing the rich. I did a video about that. You will never, ever tax the rich on the same level that you're going to tax the poor people. Because I know people who make anywhere from 45 up to 100 G's, and I'm telling you, you make 45 grand, you can expect 15 large to be gone. At least you 30 grand, roughly $2,500 to $2,800 a month to live on. And you're not getting a big refund. And if you make 100 grand, you're losing damn near 40,000 between federal, FICA, that motherfucker FICA, Medicare, 40,000, which leaves you 60, which puts you in a better position than 85% of the people in this country, but still, that shit hurts. So let's look at that. This whole thing about the top is riches are paying, no, they're not. No, they're not. The middle class is being whipped like a runaway slave, and if you scream and bitch, you get whipped harder. That's who's paying these taxes. That's who's getting hit, and that's the class of folks that would actually help us move out of this depression if they had the money to spend. But because it's like everybody's putting the screws on them. You got to pay your mortgage, your rent, all this stuff. You got a credit card, you had 9% interest rate. This year is 25%. All those forces are conspiring to keep you poor. You're going to have to change. So the deal is, I'm not going to keep going on about the way things are. Even Ray Charles could see how bad things are. This is the deal. How do you go from being a have-not to a have? How do you change that personal paradigm in your life to move forward from being one of those folks who's ha-haka? How do you separate yourself from the herd? Because I'm telling you, I look at YouTube and I read a lot of stuff. There's some simple stuff that can get you out of that trap, but you have to get out of your way. You're going to have to let go of some mindsets, because cash is not a dirty thing. Having 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 grand in a bank account that's not doing anything. And I know all conventional financial wisdom says, no, if you got that type of money, it needs to be in the stock market, or you need to do this. And no, you don't. Because no, you will not earn a high rate of return by just letting that money sit in the bank account. No, you will not. But you also won't lose that shit either. Think about it. Look at what's happening. What's going on with the Fed and all these monetary policies? They're ushering you to put your money back in the markets to expand and uplift all that. But if they were going to take care of you, I wouldn't have a problem. But we know by history that you are not even factored into the equation. You are like, do you take the red pill? Do you take the blue pill? You're in the freaking financial matrix, and many of you don't even know it. But back to, how do you get out the matrix? First of all, you have got to take an inventory of self. You have to sit down and say, what is most important to me? That's the first thing, because that's going to predicate step 2. Okay, this is what's most important to me, whether it's making a lot of money, being a mommy, being married. You have got to pick what's most important to you and run after that very hard. Because this whole notion of you can have everything, you can be anything, that's some bullshit. If your IQ is 89, there's no freaking way you're going to be a rocket scientist. It's not going to happen. We as humans have limitations. Spiritually and mentally, we can expand. Often physically, we can expand. But before you go from here to here, you need to know about this. You need to know where you are. And you're going to have to let some of this shit go. Number 2, once you have said what's most important to me, the next question is, are you willing to pay the price? Opportunity cost. There is nothing in this country that is free. Not freedom of thought, not freedom of speech. There's a consequence and cost to everything that we do and say. Know that. So are you willing to pay the price for the thing that makes you most happy? You've identified that. You're willing to pay the price. Number 3 is action. And the first thing you got to do is get your financial life in order. You have got to get a hold of your money. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I'm going to say it again. Either you're going to manage your money or your money's going to manage you. Those are your 2 choices. There's no third. Unless you get lucky and grandpa dies and he really liked you and he had a grip, or you win the lottery. That's a very small percentage of people who are going to be blessed like that. So don't live on that. What does this mean? You're going to have to make some very different decisions in your everyday life. Starbucks may have to go. Comcast may have to go. That new car may have to go, and you go out and get you a hoopty. Let me just say it right. You get you a hoopty to get you from point A to point B while you stack some cash. And I'm not talking about do this forever, but for a year or 2, you have got to change your financial footprint in life. You have got to change this. When money comes to you, this like it's ricocheting off you because it's got to get out of your life so fast to pay a bill to do this. You have got to learn how to accumulate money. So we got number 1. We've identified what's most important. Number 2, willing to pay the cost. And now we're getting the financial house in order. Once you do that, you're slowly but surely going from a have-not to a have. Because many of the people think, well, the have and the have-nots are all about wealth.
All about wealth.
We tend to look at the extreme in this country. When I was growing up, I talked about this before. There were certain medals you got for running. I used to be pretty good at track and field. I was actually very fast. I know you're going, not with your fat ass, but believe it, honey. I have caught many folks on the football field. It was like, what the? That big motherfucker walk made that. Bow! Snot flicker. Anyway, when I was running track and field, or, track and field day, there was the red ribbon, the blue ribbon, the green ribbon. That was first through fourth place, which means that, you had 4 shots at a small moment of glory. We live in a country now that if you ain't number one, there's no point. Why? Hey, if you don't make number one, it was all in vain. To me, that is some bullshit. You have got to lower your expectations so you can raise your life. Because many of our expectations are predicated on, number one, the big E word, entitlement. Not on talent, not on deeds done, but I'm breathing, therefore I'm entitled to whatever this thing in my head says I can have. That is the basis for many of you wants and desires, because I'm entitled. A friend of mine has a job, and she was telling me about this guy that just comes into the job and sits around and watches people and harasses them, and they kicked him out. And, this is a free country. I can do whatever I want. Fool, you are on private property. No, you can't do whatever you want. And many people wake up every day with their head full of that bullshit that I can do this and I can do that. And the thing is, they're not doing anything actionable to move forward in their life. They're going strictly on the E, entitlement. Just riding hard, just got the music pumping, got the head bumping, just hitting to that entitlement beat, and they're missing out. I don't want you to be that person. You have got to get a grip on that. Just because you went to college, guess what? You're not entitled to a job. No, you're not. This whole thing about, they're shipping our jobs overseas. No, they're not. The company that has those jobs, that's their job. This is the deal. You have a skill, talent, whatever, that you trade for cash. That is the exchange. You don't own that job. Because if you own that job, just listen to the language. If it was your job, it wouldn't be going overseas. Because you own that bitch. And the only way for you to own a job is to create a company that you start, you run, you maintain. Then that will never, ever ship your shit overseas because it's yours. And if you did ship it overseas, it's because it's going to benefit you. Because that's how it works. That's economic pimping. So let some of this stuff go and stop hating. I have a 1994 BMW. It's an old ass car, but it's clean. It's very, very clean. And I was in the parking lot, and I went by, and this couple that I saw, and I was in the Starbucks, and I got my little fancy backpack, and I had my Mac, and I had all my little peripherals with me, and I'm just heading with my little backpack and my Mac to my old ass car, and this couple was like, oh, he think he is shit, he got him a Mac and a BMW. I got me an old ass BMW, but because it looked good, there's a certain perception that comes with that. I was just shaking my head. It's like, I don't believe this shit. I don't believe this shit. And I just got in my car and went on about my business because I'm going to do a video of how I came up, where I came from in life. I grew up very, very poor. A lot of bad shit happened to me. A lot. So I am not going to apologize for my success because I earned it. And this is how I earned it. There were many years I didn't watch television. I can't, I'm watching like reruns of shows that have been on for years, and they're brand new to me because I've never seen them. I've earned it because for a while I didn't have a personal life because I was always working. Always. 7 days a week. 7 days a week. So that's the thing. When you meet an entrepreneur and you meet somebody that really went through the fire to get their success, there's a certain swagger they have because no one told them they were great. They earned that. And that's what I want for you. It's not going to happen with wishing and hoping and pleading and begging. And I'm about to offend a lot of Christians and prayer. Yeah, I said it. Just sitting at home, oh God, please give me that BMW. So what if my credit's bad? So what if I mismanage money? So what if I only make $6.85 an hour? I know you, Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, is going to give me that 7 Series, that 2011. Amen. That's not actionable. You know, and I'm really flirting on the line of some of your sensibilities, I know, but I think God will just will you stop? Come on. Why didn't you pray to pass that chemistry test so you could have got in the MIT, so you could have got that really good 6-figure job? Why didn't you pray for that? Why didn't you pray for forgiveness? Why didn't you pray for learning how to have conflict resolution? No, you sitting there praying for a piece of machinery as you live in your little hovel of a home, and you don't really care about anyone else. You know, and if I offended some of you, sorry, because I know some people are ultra religious, but I don't think God operates in that manner. I think the guy who never went to church, but doesn't lie, doesn't mistreat people, who ran into a building to save someone he didn't know, is going to heaven before some of the most devout, evil-ass Christians I personally know. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. People who have those selfless acts, because I grew up in the South, and there's an indoctrination that if you don't go to church, you're going to hell. Beginning and end of story. That's pretty much it. You're in the church, you're going to hell. I don't care if you're mean Monday through Saturday. It don't matter anything. You know, as long as you go to church and you're good. That's some bullshit. You need to be good 7 days a week, 365. That's when you need to be good. It all matters. Which comes back to going from a have-not to a have. Everything that you do matters. Big, small, whatever. It all matters. So if you're filling up your life with a bunch of bullshit, why are you surprised that the end product is bullshit? Think about it. If you're hanging around turkeys, why you gotta run away when Thanksgiving comes? Because everybody's hunting for you because you're a turkey. All I'm saying is, we become what we think about. So if you think about bullshit, you think about negativity, you think about lack, that will be the reality of your life. Day in, day out. Just saying. What I'm saying in this whole video, just to boil it down to just one idea, you must change the things that you do to change your life. It's that simple. The hard part is building a habit of doing better things. Picking better friends. And this is not an elitist moment that's saying, you know, because you do X, Y, and Z, you can't hang with this person or that person. No. You want to have people of value and integrity as your friends. You build a strong circle, and when shit happens, you will know, because that circle will be like, bam! And then you're truly covered. Because, you know, I believe in God, and I don't really go to church, and I had some stuff happen to me, and my friends were like, shoom. Just like that. I didn't fall, I didn't slip, none of that stuff happened. And it's because I'm a friend. See, this is the thing, and this is one of those little stories. Not really a story, but if you wake up today and say, I want to be a friend to 7 people, what can I offer 7 people? I guarantee at the end of the day, you're going to have 7 friends. Now, if you wake up with, I wish I had some friends, nobody like me. Nah, fuck them. You wake up with that attitude, chances you having some real good friends are 0. Because you're a selfish bastard. Yep, that's it. The more that you give, the more that you're going to get out of life. The more that you give, the more that you're going to get out of life. That's a simple principle. And a lot of people are so much like this. Well, I'm going to give when I get. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to give first, then you get. And this is the thing that's going to pull you out of the herd. You want to be out of the herd, because with all of this financial hocus pocus that's going on, if you're not paying attention, you're going to be one of those people living in third world conditions in these United States of America. Remember what I talked about at the beginning of this video? That poverty rate, it's not going down anytime soon. It's going to increase. Let me say it again. It's going to increase. It's going to be damn near a vertical bar. part of that is certain jobs are gone. Certain industries are gone, and the ones that have replaced them are very low paying. And if you don't have really adroit money management skills, you're screwed. You're screwed. So I beg of you, today, start making the changes you need to make to move forward in your life. You know, stop the hate, stop the negativity, and learn to work and realize it's going to take time. Let me say it again. It's going to take time. I was having a really good conversation today with a friend of mine. And, he took to heart some of the stuff I put out. And he said, I wrote my goals down and I looked at them. Sometimes I don't think I'm making progress. But it's like, then I look at what I wrote down 6 months ago. Then I come back and look at it today. And it's like, I really am making a lot of progress. Those timetables, that immediate gratification will screw you. It will screw you. It will be in your ear like, you're the man. You're the woman. You should have that now. Yes, you should have it now. And then you, like a dumbass, like, you're right. And then all your hard work goes out the window because then you get a case of the ass. You stop doing the stuff that was making you successful, and you're right back where you started. That's the deal. This is your choice. You can either be a have or a have not. It's a mental thing first, and then will matriculate into a physical reality. You've got to change the way that you think. You have to. I'm telling you, some stuff that's coming that's going to be very, very ugly. And a lot of people you would think would be informed are going to get caught off guard. Because trust me, I said early this summer that you're going to see 3% something 30-year fix. That's coming. It's in the news. It's coming. Fed's working those rates. You're going to have that. The problem is 75% of the people in the country cannot qualify for that mortgage. It's like, here it is. You can see it, but you can't touch it. Go ahead, look at it. Sniff it. Go ahead, sniff it. But it's kind of like that Eddie Murphy thing. You can't have no ice cream because you own no welfare. You can't get no house because you own a bad credit line. I'm serious. That's how this is working. And you can make some changes. You have to start today. Not when you think things are going to get better. Not when, I'll do it when I feel like it. You have to force yourself to chase excellence and success. You have to force yourself because you're not used to it. This entitlement thing that we have in this country borders on insane. And it's creating a lot of problems. But you can switch over to that side because I'm going to tell you right now, because a lot of people look at me and they go, you got lucky, or this happened or that happened. No, I live a significantly frugal lifestyle, which is changing a little bit because I've been living that way for a while, and it's like, you know what, you need to stop being so damn cheap. Even I have to make some changes. But I can make those changes and I have those options because I had the frugal lifestyle. That's the deal. You got to have a paradigm for your life that's going to enrich your future. And you cannot have a future if you're blowing your money and paying for yesterday's party today. Because that's what a lot of folks are doing. You're paying for something that happened 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago today. Your money that you make today is going for shit you did a long time ago, and you're wondering why you can't move forward? That's one of the reasons. So, hey, take heart, and also understand I'm about to separate the Hustler Mindset series from the storage auction, so it's going to be a separate playlist. So I'm going to switch that up, and there'll be 2 playlists because the Hustler Mindset, that's a whole different thing. And the reason is mindset. You must change the way that you think first before anything else happens. So we're going to work really, really hard on that. And then I'm going to kick off some more. I'm going to fill up that empty space from the Hustler Mindset with some more funny storage auction stories. Yep, I've held back. And I've got plenty because I know how much you love them. And yes, the next video is going to be a stripper story. I've held this one back for a while because it is utterly outrageous. But everything, that's the deal. All right, this is Glendon, and I'll see you in the next video.